in Columbus, Ohio. Listen to TrueFM.
What's your name?
TC.
And what brings you here?
To bring the community together about standing together against attacks on communities, like for subcultures of any form.
Awesome. What were your plans for Pride?
I actually was probably not going to be able to attend Pride. I might be able to go. It's been like a 50-50 thing.
Sure. And that's just because of your circumstances well before all this.
Yes.
All right. And how do you feel about everyone attending on Pride?
I think it's great that everyone goes. I think it's just really important because in this day and age, it shouldn't be looked down upon to be different.
Absolutely awesome. Sir, I want to thank you very much for an interview with TrueFMOnline.com. Clayton Giovanni with TrueFM Online. We're here at Goodale Park, and we're near the gazebo, and we've got a lot of people just gathering together and such, and I'm just walking up to strangers here. Ma'am, you're a stranger. Hi.
Yes, hi.
What
How's
brings
it
you
going?
What brings you here for today, and what did you think about from last night?
Actually, we just came to show support. Honestly, we were talking, my wife and I, we vacation a lot, and it wouldn't be anything for us to pop in a gay bar anywhere in the country or honestly internationally and have a beer or get some dance moves on so that something like that tragically could happen in a split second. It really kind of puts things in perspective.
What perspective does it put in for you?
Just how quick life can be taken and how much hate there really is in the world. It's kind of scary.
What is your reaction to Lieutenant Governor from Texas and his Bible quote? Read what you saw, sorry.
I think anybody can take the Bible and twist and turn. We all will meet our Maker one day, and I'm not scared of that one bit.
Speaking of fear, what about this week? Are you going to do any changing in your plans for Pride?
Actually, my wife's having surgery tomorrow morning, so we just happen to be in Columbus because of that. But as long as she's able, we're planning on going in a wheelchair to the Pride Parade, and that's not going to stop us.
I'm looking for the Rolling Hot Lady, is that right?
The Rolling Hot Lady, yes.
I don't know how hot I'll be, but...
It's Columbus in the summertime for Pride. It'll be hot, darling.
Yes.
Trust me, it'll be very hot. Thank you all very much. I do appreciate it.
Hello everybody, this is Alan from Steppin' Out on TrueFMOnline.com. I'm here at the Orlando, Florida Pulse Vigil, and I'm standing here with Sindra and Nick. Sindra, can you tell me what your first thoughts were this morning when you heard about the incident?
Heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken.
When did you find out about the incident?
I actually got on Facebook and it was all over my feed, so I had to look it up, and there it was.
So after you saw it on Facebook, what was your first reaction? What did you do?
Well, because my first thought was, what if my brother was there? So.
What about you, Nick?
Well, I actually woke up to a few texts from some family members. My aunt was concerned because she knew we traveled a lot, and she knew that you like Florida. So, and then after reading all the reports, I kind of saw from 2 a.m. when it happened the changes in the reporting and the number of deaths went from 10 to 20 all the way up to 50, and then heard reports of how they were in the building for hours. It was just really scary.
So did that cause any emotional reaction at all?
Yeah, definitely. It could have happened anywhere, so it definitely puts a lot of things into perspective.
Can you elaborate on what kind of things that it brings into perspective for you?
The fact that we have come a long way and we've made a lot of progress this year. Anytime you make progress, I think there's that issue that opponents of your beliefs act out strongly in isolated events, but sometimes they're not isolated, so you never know.
And as in us coming a long way, you're speaking of?
Marriage equality, right, LGBTQ rights, stuff like that.
So the LGBTQ community. So is it going to change your future Pride attendance or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. Columbus Police, they're awesome. They protect us really, really well. I know there's stepped up security here I've seen just right now. And just the overall feeling that you shouldn't have to hide who you are. That's what Pride is all about. So I don't feel like this is going to really affect any Pride attendance now.
What about you, Cinder? Does this cause any more fear or anything that might prevent you from attending Pride this year, which is this coming weekend?
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, it does scare me a little bit, but I think it's more of a chance for us to get together as a community and show that we are not afraid. So we should stand together.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time, and we will get ready for the vigil here in a few minutes. Thanks, guys. Hello, everybody. This is Alan with Stepping Out on TrueFMOnline.com. I'm here with Paula Brooks, County Commissioner. We are here at the Orlando Pulse Vigil. So I'm going to ask Paula a few questions. Paula, when did you first hear about the tragedy down in Orlando?
I got up rather early this morning, and at first I heard about a pretty significant number of people killed in just kind of like a bar fight. That's what it sounded like, and fed my dog, went back to bed, and shockingly got up about 8 and watched the news, and my mouth dropped open. 50 people murdered. Unbelievable. It was just, I couldn't believe my ears, because that can happen anywhere, and I was so worried, and I didn't even know at that time any of the details. I didn't even know it was a GLBT bar. I just knew 50 people were gone.
Okay, so when you first realized that it was an LGBT bar, what was your thoughts then?
Well, my first thought was to make sure my loved ones were okay. So I started texting. It took me a little while. People were sleeping, but I got word back that everybody was okay. I texted with some other friends here who a little bit later said, we're going to have a vigil and a wreath laying today, and would you be there? So I said, absolutely.
Okay, and I know that when gay marriage was up for a vote, what was your vote on that, or your opinions on that?
I supported it. I'm a lawyer. I truly believe in equal protection under the law for all human beings. And even as a new county commissioner way back in 2005, I worked on equality and contracting for the county. And before that, I worked for Dick Celeste when he was governor, and we had a task force on treating everybody equal. And before I left state government, I helped write the language and push forward the language that protects people who are in contract with the state of Ohio, regardless of their sexual orientation.
Okay, now it was stated that it was a terrorist attack. Give me your thoughts and or opinions about the terrorist attack part, and also kind of go into maybe a little bit about gun control with this situation.
You know, no one has a right to murder in the name of their religion. No one has a right to murder. We don't do that in a democracy in the United States of America. It broke my heart to see this young man, born here, but of Afghan parents, to see that he had so many opportunities and yet was susceptible, we think, to this radicalization. And it appears to me that his belief system is quite flawed. There are details coming out. I'm a feminist. I've worked for women's rights my entire life. There are details coming out about how he beat his ex-wife. And we have to have, in a democracy, in a stable society, a civil society, we all must follow the law. And that was very, very disturbing to me, that after everything that's happened since September 11th, that we still have these incidents and we have such a horror like ISIS.
Now, not to interrupt you real quick, but I just had a thought that I got to get out there real quick. Speaking of all of what you just said, it said that he was on the FBI watch list since, I believe, 2013. So how is it that he was able to get a hold of that kind of gun if he was on the FBI watch list?
No, that's a really good question that I think our law enforcement will have to come to grips with and answer, because that shouldn't be happening. I don't like assault weapons. I don't believe they should be in anybody's hands. I've always supported laws that would protect us against people like that, in particular having assault weapons. We don't need them. They're made for people to kill. That's the only purpose of an assault weapon. It shouldn't be allowed.
Now, I know that you are a Hillary supporter, correct?
I am.
And you supported Obama?
Absolutely. And I like, let me just say, Senator Sanders, I think, has done a great job, too. I like Senator Sanders.
Now, with the people making comments that Obama's just trying to take everybody's guns away, and then this happens, that kind of throws the emotion, I believe, everywhere. And then people become more afraid that Obama is going to go even harder on the gun control, which I believe personally that we should. But what is your thoughts about everybody thinking that Obama's just out to take their guns away?
That's not true. It definitely is not true. I don't begrudge anyone, having grown up on a farm, from having a weapon if they meet criteria that are very stringently enforced. I think what's happened is we have so many guns out there. I think perhaps we need to look more at how many weapons are, really going to be manufactured. I don't know how we do that right now, standing here today, this evening, but I think we have to begin looking at that. I know in places like New York and London, there are rules and regulations which limit those weapons to more or less the police. I understand people's fears about their Second Amendment rights and about the government taking charge, but I'm also fearful of people just murdering my family, no matter where they are and in what venue. We've got to come to grips with this. I mean, just today, Lucas Sullivan from the Dispatch, I noticed, tweeted out that he has no hope that any of this will ever happen, because if we couldn't do it after Sandy Hook, why would we do it now? Well, we can't give up hope. We have to keep pressing forward and take responsibility, and that's all Obama, our president, wants to do. President Obama wants us to have responsible gun laws. That's the right thing to do.
One more question. What is your thoughts about the government not really funding psychiatric facilities or better psychiatric treatment or things like that, instead of just throwing people into prison? It seems like our government spends a lot of money on prisons and jails instead of actually putting money into psychiatric places and actually treating people, instead of just throwing them into jail and locking them up.
As a brand new county commissioner back 12 years ago, I learned that our county jails function as healthcare because of this very issue. We are not providing adequate mental health services. Now, we've done a lot more with that. With the Great Recession, there were a lot of budget cuts, and yet we're still pressing that forward, that agenda. And I hope that people will start to understand that if this 29-year-old guy was mentally ill, it doesn't matter if he was a terrorist or not, the same thing could have happened. So let's try to catch that. Let's provide treatment, and let's not stick our head in the sand.
It makes me baffled a little bit that I understand that, there's budget cuts and everything pretty much everywhere, but when there's such a need for psychiatric issue, treatment and all that stuff, why would that be one of the first things you think they would cut?
I don't understand, because I've been a practicing lawyer over the years, and I used to work with a lot of organizations called medical peer review organizations, and we used to examine the quality of health care delivered for the Medicaid and Medicare system. And it's been well known in the healthcare system that getting mental health parity was very important, and we've done that now in the laws. But now we need to have funding parity. I think that's the next step, and it's absolutely the case that we will save lives and save money if we get those health care needs covered.
Right. I just want to make it very clear that I wasn't saying that this particular issue had to do with mental illness, but a lot of the other shootings and stuff like that did have to do with mental illness, and that's why I just wanted to bring that up real quick. But I just wanted to thank you for your time for this interview.
You're welcome, and I'd just like to echo what President Obama said today. He said this is both hate and terror, and there's no room in our democracy for either. We must end this. We have to figure it out.
I agree.
Thanks for having me.
Right.
Thanks for having me, Alan.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, getting some extra people here over at the Vigil tonight, produced by Bravo. I've got two gentlemen here. They're going to introduce themselves. Guys, hi and welcome.
Hi. Nice to have you.
Good to have you. Yes. What is your name?
My name's Gary.
Gary, and your partner friend is?
Matt.
Matt, hi. I see these gentlemen walking down and they're holding hands, and I'm like, with all the stuff that's going on and the crap that just happened about 19 hours ago, why are you guys like having no fear holding your hands? Here.
Living in fear is not something new for us. I mean, this is going to happen. It's happened in the past. It's going to happen in the future.
Is this changing your pride plans at all?
No.
Oh, not at all.
Really? They're
No.
going full force.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about what happened 19 hours ago?
Very sad. Very, very sad.
Unfortunate that a religion is going to blind people to kill people. It's very sad. Why?
Any other thoughts regarding this whole event?
I just think that we need to be stand a lot firmer than what we have been in the past.
We need to galvanize a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Do you think this will do it?
I think this will start it.
Okay.
It could strengthen us for damn sure.
Are you gentlemen in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s crowd?
I'm in the 50s crowd.
30s.
30s? All right. What do you think about the 20s with this event and the teens?
I've never had to really experience anything like the older generation did, who really gave us all of our rights that we have today, who really had to put in pain and suffering and beatings and all that stuff. And, you know, for them to see this now firsthand is going to put it in perspective for them.
Definitely. Absolutely, definitely. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. My name is Clayton Giovanni with TrueFM Online, and I want to thank you very much for an
so
opportunity to interview with you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, have a good one.
I'm Daddy T,
Daddy T, all right.
and I'm 56, and I am with the Ohio Leather Alliance.
So you've been here with pre-Stonewall as well.
Correct.
As far as everything. And what do you see for today, today's events?
It's going to be very emotional. My puppy knew somebody that we lost. He lost.
Okay.
And so it's affecting him. So it's affecting me. It's affecting all of us. But it hit home.
Sure.
I think we need this to bring the community together.
The Vigil.
The Vigil.
Okay.
I think this is what we need to bring the community together. This is what we need to form a unity.
Think this will galvanize?
I would hope. I really do.
Okay.
I really do hope. So does Puppy here. We are actually wanting the community across the country to band together, no matter our differences, no matter our feelings on each other. This is an area that we need to stand together. And
Okay. All right. I'm going to take this over to your pup.
Yeah.
Name and age, please.
I'm Pup Nibbler Wolf, and I'm 24.
All right. And what do you think about what's going on from here today?
Well, what happened
From this morning and then
what happened
today?
this morning sucked, but I think that, we as a community just need to come together. 9/11 was a wake-up call for America, and this needs to be a wake-up call for us as a community, not as groups. Because groups are awesome, but the community has a louder voice. And we're stronger as a team instead of just a bunch of different groups. And I think our voice would be heard a lot louder. And hopefully we could prevent stuff like this from happening again.
How's this going to handle you guys for this week for Pride here in Columbus?
It's definitely going to be weird. It's going to be hard, but
we're going to be
gonna
more
be
so
there.
alert.
More alert?
More alert, because it could happen here easily.
Anywhere.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, it could happen anywhere, and our community needs to understand that, just because it happened in Orlando and it's happened, in Boston, we have no guarantee that nothing like that will ever happen here. So we need to be on alert. We need to stand up for each other. We need to watch out for each other more closely, more so as a community than just an individual.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much with TrueFM Online. This is Clayton Giovanni, and I appreciate your time. Has this changed your plans?
No. If it changed it, then they'd win.
Awesome.
And I can't fucking have that.
At Goodale Park, I'm meeting a lot of other people here. I come across this gentleman, and you are, sir?
I'm Dan.
And what brings you here to the park today?
Solidarity. I'm friends with a lot of people in the gay community, especially in the, I guess you call it the gay party community.
Okay.
And I don't know, like just being here in Columbus has made me extremely aware of the kind of situation and, parties like, and I guess parties and clubs like that, where that kind of stuff
Over at
happens.
Pulse? Yeah.
Yeah,
In
and Pulse. Well, not even that. Like, all those are safe spaces. And I've become aware of that in the last year. We have parties here like there's Beefquake and Hot Mass in Pittsburgh, and there's Midwest Fresh here where we all strive to kind of keep a safe space for people to come and be free, you know.
You don't have to worry about any intimidation.
Right, yeah,
Just
or
come and
anything,
party and
you know.
dance.
And it's not just queer people, it's people of color, it's women, you know, and anybody, sorry if that's not the right word.
No, it's
just
fine.
the word I've been
You're
heard.
fine.
Yeah, okay.
And we're not FCC, so say everything.
Okay, cool. So like queer people, people of color, women can go without being harassed, and I go just have fun, you know. But like, there's
the way it's supposed to be,
and
right.
and it's horrifying enough to see that happen out on the street, like it happens in so many places around the world. But to see somebody go into a place that is designated as safe to be who you want to be, and do that, is so much more heartbreaking. So that's why I'm here, because I consider myself somewhat protective of the safe spaces we have in Columbus and the, I guess you call it late night scene, the underground, the place where people are allowed to be who they are.
Sure.
And if I wasn't here, I would feel irresponsible. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you very much. For this week, are you going to be attending Pride? Were you planning on attending Pride first? Let's ask that.
Of course.
And has this changed your plans?
No. If it changed it, then they'd win.
Awesome.
And I can't fucking have that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to thank you very much then for the interview with TrueFMOnline.com. Thank you, sir.
Nice
Appreciate
to meet
it. Good to meet you.
My name is Sabrina Hahn, and I'm here to celebrate life when there's so much hate in the world, and just come together as a community and show that this will not break us down.
Absolutely awesome. Now, what is this going to do for your resolve with Pride this week?
As far as I'm just going to make me want to be there even that much more, to be with my fellow LGBTQAI people. LMNOP, exactly.
The whole alphabet.
Yes.
Awesome. Who is the lovely friend that you've got with you
It's
today?
my mother.
This is your mom? Mom, may I ask you, or we're just going to stay with Mom, right? The title Mom?
I'm Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Hi.
May I ask you, what do you think about everything that happened last night, this morning?
It's heartbreaking to see that everybody's coming apart. I should say going apart, not coming together. I support the LGBTQ, is what California's was saying now, LGBTQ.
Sure.
I'm not happy with this, so I'm here to support everybody and just be vigilant with it all.
What angers you about it?
Life. Nobody has regard for life anymore. You know,
Okay.
they want to kill, but for something they're against, but they're not, regards for life. So that's the most evil right there, is killing somebody.
Very cool.
So I'm for life.
Do you think you'll be able to come out for Pride this week?
Oh, most definitely.
Awesome, bud. And I hope to see you both there. Again, thank you very much for TrueFM Online.
Thank you.
I think if I were to be a little more cautious and stay away from Pride, then that just helps feed into the homophobia.
I'm over here at the gazebo down over at Goodale, and a lot of people are starting to line up. And I've got a young gentleman that I'm gonna be kind of slightly rude and just ask his age first, and then his name, and have him introduce himself and such. Who are you? What's your name? What's your age?
My name is Nick Weimer. I am 20 years old.
And where are you from? Are we here in
I
Columbus
am from Cincinnati, Ohio originally, but I go to Ohio State here.
Gotcha. So you're up here as a transplant temporary student.
Yes.
Very cool. What is your thoughts on all of this that just transpired this morning, and what brings you here?
I was working a night shift last night, so overnight I learned a lot of details about the event as they were rolling in. I had no idea the scope of everything until I woke up again in the afternoon and was devastated to find out how many people had died from the massacre. In wake of everything that's gone on, I've seen a lot of different media sources take different takes on the event. But what I think is truly important is for us to come together and show that we can't be defeated by homophobia and that we can overcome all of this.
Absolutely awesome. Now, you're carrying a particular pride flag, and you had some writing on it. What does that say, please, and why? Why does it say that?
It says, "We have nothing to lose but our chains." It is a popular quote by Assata Shakur, who is a popular Black Panther activist in the 60s and 70s. And the reason I have that written is because it is my reminder in my life to keep going, and that no matter what happens, the worst that can happen will even perpetuate and lead to our freedom.
All right. Very cool. Now you're coming down from Cincinnati. Well, you're up here now for school, but you're from Cincinnati.
Yes.
How would your community in Cincinnati handle all this?
I struggled a little in Cincinnati. It's really hard to get a good grasp of everything down there. I think there are very accepting people, but I feel like everything is a little more unified in Columbus, and so I feel a little bit more of a support. I did have good organizations down in Cincinnati, such as GLSEN, and then also my Gay Straight Alliance in my high school was really good. But here in Columbus, I feel overwhelmed in the amount of support I get.
Is this going to be your first Pride, by the way?
No, I've been going to Pride ever since, I was 14.
Is this changing your mind on anything to go deal with Pride this week?
No. I think if I were to be a little more cautious and stay away from Pride, then that just helps feed into the homophobia.
Absolutely awesome. I want to thank you very much on behalf of TrueFM Online and then also Left of Straight. Thank you very much for your quote and appreciate it, sir. Aye, aye. Clayton Giovanni here again at TrueFM with Goodale Park for the Vigil going on, coordinated with Bravo 730. We are 18 hours after a horrific event in Orlando over at Pulse nightclub. Thank you very much. Well, I need to chew gum some more. And I'm just asking people randomly, some questions about this. Ladies, if I can get your name, please.
Oh, Cassie. Debbie.
Debbie. All right. What do you think about what happened 18 hours ago?
I think it's just a horrific thing. I think it's horrible. I couldn't believe it when I heard it this morning.
I mean, it made me pretty emotional. I have a few friends that, I know it definitely hit home for them, and it really bothered me, the whole situation.
What in particular about the fact that it happened over there that touched you most?
That it's just more that, not that it's just there, that it can happen anywhere.
Okay.
This is something that is just not one central location. This is something that could be anywhere in the country.
So it can be anywhere. It could even be here in Columbus.
Right.
What is this doing for your Pride plans?
Just being there to support the people that we know. That
You're still going?
Yes.
It's not stopping you at all?
It's not stopping me at all. We can't live in fear. We have to live in living for every day and being there for everybody.
Cool. And how much for you? You going to change your plans at all, or
No,
do anything differently with your friends?
No, I support everything with my friends, and I'm there for them. And honestly, I don't see that this changes anything. I mean, being from New York and knowing that terrorism can happen there, terrorism can happen anywhere. So why not keep supporting everything that I believe in? Awesome.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you very much both for that. Is there any final words you want to say, especially for this vigil going on tonight?
My thoughts are with the families of everyone, the family and friends of everyone that is experiencing everything there, and hopefully this will stop and never happen again.
Absolutely awesome. Ladies, I want to thank you very much on behalf of TrueFMOnline.com. Appreciate it. All right, so it's the 12th. It is 20 hours since we've had the massacre in Orlando. I'm over here at Goodale Park. We're going to be having a vigil here soon. I ended up running across Boyancé, who's getting ready for a performance, and we're just stopping to see what Boyancé's got to say. Actually, we're not stopping. I'm huffing and puffing because we're walking. Boyancé, thoughts and feelings on the whole thing?
I was completely shocked this morning. I actually got a text from my mom this morning. She was super upset. She was like, "Did you hear what happened in Orlando?" And I was like, no. So of course Facebook is like the news now.
Yep.
So I looked on Facebook and I was like, I didn't really know what was going on at first. And then as I started reading more of the articles that were popping up, I actually started crying because I'm just like, I can't believe people still have that amount of hate in their heart to do something like that. And I'm sure everybody that was there and people that lost their lives, not all of them were gay. And then you have retards like that governor in Texas that was put Bible quotes up and stuff like that. It's just it's definitely an attack against our community. And even though it's there, still it hits really close to home because that could have easily been any bar here. I don't know. It's just really disheartening that we still have to be scared to be in a safe environment, you know what I mean?
So are you scared?
With the Pride festivities coming up, I'm a little nervous. I'm not so much scared, it's just we gotta be vigilant, and anything can happen anywhere.
more aware of what's going on.
Right.
Keep an open eye about what's going on around you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
With that, I want to thank you very much, Boyancy.
Thank you so much.
You have a great performance tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you for a moment with TrueFM Online.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
You
Welcome.
too. I'll probably see you later.
Hopefully. Just meeting more people out here in the park at Goodale. I come across two gentlemen holding hands sitting on one of the park benches here for possibly getting ready for the Vigil. I'm going to let them tell their story. Gentlemen, hello.
Hi, I'm Joe Ware.
I'm Mitchell Ware.
I'm going to assume that that's a married couple. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What brings you out here for tonight?
A lot of times over the years, I've seen some people say gays and lesbians in our community doesn't get affected by violence because of who we are. And today we did. And this could be seen as a terrorist attack against Americans, but it's also a terrorist attack against gay, lesbians, bisexuals, transgenders, queer, the whole community. Because ISIS and their ideology specifically has attacked our community. Previous to this, how many gays and lesbians have been murdered and executed at the hands of ISIS in the Middle East? So we all have to come out here for everybody.
So you're definitely taking the gentleman to be representative of someone who's connected with ISIS.
I'm taking the position that this is a gentleman who can be connected to ISIS, and this is a gay hate crime.
Okay.
He can have two goals in mind.
Sure.
People who hate can hate a whole lot of things at once.
Makes it easier, more convenient, sure.
And choosing a target like our community, it makes a significant damage to a group of people who previously might have been in the United States, at least, not quite as willing to say against ISIS. But we see it different today, and it's kind of a flip that, you know, it's come home to us in a way we didn't think would come home. But it's also a whole bunch of our own laws, our own availability of guns, of weapons to use. It may have been somebody who was a foreign person, but they certainly used some of America's more Second Amendment values. I can get a gun, I'm going to use a gun. And it's a whole bunch going on. It's very confusing for a lot of us today. Mostly we feel sadness. 50 people were killed. 50 people who were out celebrating pride, who were out celebrating the freedoms we've managed to get for ourselves. And to have somebody come in and shower that place with bullets and snuff out 50 of our community.
And injure the other 53, right?
Well,
and he was going for more. He was obviously.
It's a sad thing. It's sad. It's tragic. You're angry. You're filled with rage. You're filled with sadness. This is just a sort of a way to help us heal
Tonight at the Vigil.
Yeah, help people who come here heal. You know, there's just a whole lot of, like I said, it's complex.
No, and also maybe motivation.
Well, I think it's going to motivate a lot of people to really look at the fact that, yeah, we got recognition of our marriages, but it's still legal to fire us in most of the states. It's still legal to deny us housing, to deny us services. And, you know, until we address a lot of that, we'll continue to be a soft target for whether it's Islamic terrorists or whether it's our own domestic fundamentalist terrorists who push for us to have unequal bathroom access, who push to make sure that transgendered children in this country are made to feel as uncomfortable as they possibly can be. It's a mess.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. And you?
He and I, he tends to get a lot more political and a lot more, I don't know. I'm here because there's so much hate out there. And dude, love wins. And we got to come out. We got to support one another, you know, because if we go and we hide, it does no one any kind of good. So we come out, we show love, we show solidarity. We're not going anywhere.
Excellent.
You can't kill us all.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect, sir. I want to thank you both, gentlemen, very much.
You're listening to True FM, online from 175 on the Park.